already at their industrial park. So yeah, there are a few success stories. We are not yet fully operational, but I believe by mid this year, a lot of these industrial parks will be at least operational.
Fine. So members, the issue here was the documentation to support the expenditure. I think we have agreed on how that should be dealt with. We will make recommendations for you to fast track completion and for us also to come and visit. So we can move on to the next issue, which is undisclosed account payables. There was an issue here.
Thank you, Chair. Undisclosed account payables, that issue was not addressed. I wish to prosecute. The statement of financial position reflects current liabilities balance totaling Kenya shillings 1,722,877,451. However, the balance excludes a liability in respect to transfers from special purpose account amount of Kenya shillings 10,167,300, which was borrowed from the special purpose account but was not refunded back to the account. Further, the payables have been classified as current liabilities. However, review of the payment plan forwarded to the Controller of Budget showed that the payables totaling to Kenya shillings 1,429,250,047 were to be settled between the financial years 2026-2027 to 2032-2033, 6 years financial period, which should have been classified as long-term liability. In the circumstances, the accuracy and completeness of the current liabilities balance of Kenya shillings 1,722,877,451 could not be confirmed. I submit.
Governor.
The schedules provided to support the figure 1,429,250,047 payable between 2026-27 to 2032-2033, a 6 years financial period, which should have been classified as non-current liabilities. The observation has been considered and shall be implemented in future reports, while the 10,167,300 was not a borrowing but an inter-account transfer, which was appropriately journalized and authorized. And there's a journal entry in Appendix 2A, Roman 2A.
So there are two issues there. Auditor General, could you tell us your assessment of Appendix 2A and that response by the Governor?
Chair, for the second portion, on the issue of the non-current liability, that one can be carried, will be considered in the financial year 2025-26. However, the 10 million, the way it was accounted for, because it is still in their books. One book is showing a receivable while the other one is showing none. It's up to them to do the reconciliation, Chair.
Now let's speak in English. You have said 10 million was borrowed from the special purpose account but was not refunded back.
Yes, Chair. And in the account, it's showing as a liability, a debt. But in the executive, it has not been disclosed.
So what is the essence of Appendix 2A? What are you trying to demonstrate with that journal entry? I mean, it can be a piece of paper that was run in River Road. Can you explain it?
Thank you, Chair. Through the Governor, this was a transfer from one special purpose account to the recurrent account. The figure in our financials that indicated the amount transferred from the CRF, this was erroneously included there.
No, wait a minute. Don't confuse us. In this JV, you are debiting the KIPE account with 10.1 million, isn't it?
Yes.
And crediting your recurrent account with the same amount.
Oh, yes.
Where is the entry where you have credited the KIPE's account with a similar amount to confirm that the amount was refunded? Because this JV just confirms what the Auditor General has said. Where is the entry that brought the money back?
Chairman, what we are clarifying is we are dealing with the end of financial year, and we are saying that as that end of financial year, that that inter borrowing was not refunded, and in our financial statement,
that is what you need
yes,
to either demonstrate or you say we agree with the Auditor General, and therefore we make recommendations.
Because it was in term borrowing, to collect that, we will do contra entry.
No, this is not a JV. This is not just a JV. This is cash moving from a special purpose account to which the monies deposited are monies appropriated by the Senate. KIPES is a conditional grant. And part of the conditions is for you to open a special purpose account, just like Flocker. Now, what you guys are doing is that when you run out of cash, you go and raid Flocker, you go and raid KIPES, you go and raid KDSP. And this is a classic example.
And what will happen is, after we close the year...
Haven't I described the problem here?
You are right.
Is it legal?
It is in term borrowing. That is part of cash management.
No, it is not cash management. When we are approving money that goes to counties, KIPES is a specific column. And part of the conditions is that we shall open a special purpose account. And that special purpose account, you can't tell us that because you have run out of money for mandazis, let's go and pick from KIPES. We shall return on the day we have money for mandazis. It can't be like that. It can't be argued using accountant speak. Governor, you see the folly here. If this was Flocker, you would have been suspended from the program. They've suspended Nyamira, they've suspended Kajiado, they've suspended Kakamega for this thing that you're casually describing as inter-account borrowing. Senator Adulo.
Chair, I don't know whether I see or listen to the auditor, because he was trying to explain something else. She specifically said reconciliations were not done. Maybe what we need to know from him, have they tried to reconcile those figures? Because she was specific when she said the county has not done reconciliation. But he's trying to explain borrowing from here, borrowing from there, and all that. Can he tell us what he has done as far as reconciliation, as the auditor said, is explained?
Auditor?
Thank you, Chair. This paragraph has two issues. The first, reconciliation on the issue of classifying the liabilities has been done into the non-current and the current liabilities. The second bit, which is the first paragraph here, the county borrowed 10 million from KIPE, which is a special purpose, specific project for utilizing that money. However, at the time of audit, this 10 million had not been refunded back to that special account. The borrowing itself, first of all, it was illegal because they ought to have gotten that money from the COB.
So, can we address ourselves with that, Senator?
I think, Chair, that is where the crux of the matter is. Governor, you have told us that your farmers are waiting for this industrial park. How can it be, the way the chair has put it, that you can read that account to finance Mandazi? That's the words that he has used.
We didn't finance Mandazi. That is quite simplistic.
I was just borrowing the chair's mouth.
Mandazi will pay with our pockets.
You credited the Embu County recurrent account.
Yeah.
And when I was in the world of finance, JVs had narrations. So there's no narration on this. So it is upon us to make any conclusion for that kind of transfer. Proceed, Senator Sifuna.
Yeah, thank you for the protection. You know, She had said she would not harass me, but without you, very safe. So that is the crux of the matter. If your officer there has acknowledged that there was a problem and the auditor has properly classified it as an illegality, then, Governor, you have an explanation to give the people of Embu. How is it possible that money meant to build an industrial park is being used to finance MANDAZI?
This money was actually retention money for the KAIP because it stayed within the SPA account. So we did not touch on the money meant to develop the KAIP. And I think it is very, very important that that goes out, because if that was the case, Chair, I would not be number 2 in the county in implementation of KAIP. If indeed we were...
Governor, I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah.
You're a good politician. You are good in building the vision and painting the picture. But accounts, it is the numbers that matter. Movement of cash, it is what you debit and what you credit. So just pause a bit on the big picture. Let's first deal with the details. The auditors called it an illegality. But the auditors also said you should have refunded it. So even if you were to close our eyes to the illegality, was there an entry to refund the money?
The finance officer says that there was plan to refund this money
There was a plan.
It was supposed to be refunded. There was no way they were not going to refund, but they delayed the refunding. But we are going to make sure it happens immediately.
When was the JV raised, transferring the money?
Can you explain? And assure that you are refunding, please.
Officer?